We need your help.
Can the 4-car get there again? Not quite. Eli Hinton back to the bottom, 6 to go.
Makes a mistake again. He missed the shift. He's going to spin to the inside turn. He's going to take the lead.
Eli Hinton just got used up there in the hairpin. He's going to pick up a win after a long winless streak and visit victory lane. And the whole field just needs to get himself slowed down, hop these curves, up and over. There's that cannon running a tad wide. Great restart here for the 2-car, but also for the 48. He crosses him over, down into turn 1, there goes the tail. Here comes the 20 alongside. The 13-car gets turned. He's going to spin in turn 2.
It's the biggest, the baddest, the fastest, and the widest. Welcome to Talladega Superspeedway for the first fun round of the 2019 3WideRacing Cup Series. And Finian, this is a season-long adventure all the way to the end of November. But we're going to start the season off with a bit of a non-points race just for fun. And it's called the Talladega Clash.
So it's pretty much equivalent to the real-life Clash, which is pretty much just for money, just for fun. But there's no qualifying into it. There's no prerequisite to get in, as I believe the real life Clash is qualifying. It's based off of polls
and previous champions.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing.
So, but for this, every single person that has entered into the Cup Series for this year, which amounts to 39 drivers, they're all eligible for the Clash. And right now we got about, I think, 36,
a lot, quite
35.
a few.
So yeah, we got a lot of drivers here tonight ready to take on this race. Going to be a 57-lap race around Talladega, so not a lot of time, but you're really not going to need a lot of time.
Take a look at our track information. Talladega, 2.6 miles, Finney, and this is the largest track that NASCAR runs on, and with that comes high banks, 33-degree banking around here, Finney, and speeds over 200 miles an hour, and with a new aerodynamics package in play, it's going to really change how these drivers race this event.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much night and day compared to the old package. I would say between the 3 National Series on the older package, the Truck Series probably had the best drafting package, but here it's definitely the Cup. If we can get a look on someone just get a camera on them to look at the wing on these things, that is absolutely ginormous.
Right on board with David Wilson here.
Yeah.
Holy
yeah, it's pretty much the 2014 wing that these guys had on. It punches such a big hole in the air. It is absolutely insane. I believe in real life too, they have a problem with these cars going too fast in the draft. And I believe they're adding an inch?
They're adding an inch to the spoiler to bring it up to 9 inches tall. It was an inch and a half in 2018, to give you an idea of how large these spoilers are. But let's take a look and warm up here, Finney, and we should be advancing to the session shortly. No qualifying, random grid to start tonight's event. But we have 5 minutes left in warm up, and you take a look on the left-hand side of your screen, different look to SimTV this week. This is the first time we're using custom numbers in the ticker, and if you're a driver and you'd like your background to be changed, you can just go ahead and PM me or email us at simtvbroadcasting.com, and you can have the background changed. I was going kind of off of guesstimations here, and a lot of them just ended up being black. So if you'd like to get that changed, let me know for the next round. But it looks good out there, Finney. It looks cool to have drivers with their actual numbers, gives them an identity and someone to follow. And Richard Hines, that curly old number 2 right at the top of the board.
Andy, great qualifying effort for him. You see the number 4 there on screen, that's Luis Almaso.
Another thing to keep in mind, Finian, that they are allowing quarter panel numbers this year, which not necessarily my cup of tea, but honestly, that 4-car looks pretty good, I gotta say.
It is weird seeing a stock car without the number on the door, though.
It is a little weird. We're gonna have to get used to it this season, but a couple other things to take note of, Finian, tonight is that this event, non-points race, so we're gonna see a lot of aggression out here. And with this new package, we've seen already when you're out practicing how crazy this car sucks up to the one in front of it. This is no longer a single file draft train around the bottom. We're going to see pushing and shoving all night long.
We're going to see people, you can pretty much go 3 wide around here, no problem, which is very ironic for the series name.
We're going to be 4 wide tonight. There was a joke actually this morning, April Fool's Day, that the new league was going to be called 4 wide racing.
I mean, honestly, might as well, because you can easily do it here. It's so easy to maintain the lanes this time around with this package. Yeah, and you know, if you really want to see what we're on about, just wait for the race here in about 5 minutes.
All right, Finian, look at the scoring pylon, the 2 at the top of the board, but all is going to change here in just a little bit. We're about ready to go racing for the first time in 2019 for the official 3-Wide Racing League Series, and we're going to start off with a fun one tonight. We're just getting up and gridded and ready to go here, and Rusty Webb in the 88. Starting in 3rd spot, and we'll get your grid up here shortly.
It looks like Frank Sims is going to be leading the field down to green.
And Frank Sims, remember last year in the Truck Series, we didn't follow the Cup Series. Remember, we're taking over from 3Wide TV, as they were the ones that handled the Cup Series last year. They wanted to come on down and race, so we took over for him this year. One of the guys we didn't follow in Cup was Frank Sims. He struggled in the trucks a lot in 2018. We'll see if he can have a better season this year. But tonight, it's all for fun, so we might see some people taking risks that they might not otherwise take.
Indeed. So front row is going to be Frank Sims and Nathan Velez. We'll get up the full qualifying order here, or grid in just a second. But yeah, completely random grid here tonight. You can see everyone lining up, and you can just see how many cars are here on the grid.
Yeah, we have... Yeah, what do we got? 35 people starting this race, Vinny, and if that is not enough for you, I don't know who you're talking about, because this is going to be really exciting. We got drivers that we know are going to be up front. Drew Eisenman starting all the way back in 26, that number 77 Eisen Designs car. There's Chad Frankenfield and Matt Grunberg back here, and Frankenfield coming fresh off of a championship in the 3-Wide Driver Development Series, looking for a good season.
And ironic, too, because Frankenfield and Matt Grunberg are going to start at 27, 28th. I think not really for this race in general, not this race in particular, but throughout the season, we're going to definitely have to keep an eye on those two drivers. But pace car is off, and we're getting ready to go green here.
Let's take a look at our starting lineup here tonight on the front row. Frank Sims in the number 75 car alongside Nathan Velez in the number 48 Ford Fusion. So a Camry in the Fusion on the front row, but behind him in 3rd and 4th is Rusty Webb and Kevin Jadrosich in the number 42. And Jadrosich was also very strong in the Driver Dev Series. We'll see if he can improve on that this year.
And moving on back to row number 3, we're going to have Chuck Sweeting in the 26 Chevy Camaro on the inside row. And outside of him, Kyle Hanshaw on the 46 Toyota Camry will be starting in 6th.
And back to row number 4, it's Corey Lindsay in the Team Blurry 00 alongside David Wilson in the 8th spot. Wilson in a Camaro, also quite good. And all the series we've seen him running, we'll see if he can have a good season starting off at Talladega.
Back in row 4, Jonathan Cogswell is going to be starting on the inside in the 27 Chevy Camaro. Outside of him in the 89, Brent Miller in the Chevy Camaro.
All right, we'll let the rest of the lineup scroll on the bottom of your screen. There's no way it's going to finish before we get back around. We're so excited to go racing, and so is the pace car. We're just going one time around here, then turning them loose. Frank Sims on the pole at number 75. Got the 88 of Rusty Webb tucked in right behind him. Richard Hines, who is on top of the board in practice, is sitting in 15th for the start of this race. Here comes the field through turns 3 and 4.
Just one turn away now from getting the season underway. It's an over 20 race schedule for the Cup Series, and for the Truck Series is going to be a long year ahead of us, but again, what a great way to kick it off.
Pace car rolling off. It's time to kick off the 2019 season for the 3-Wide RaceKings Cup Series. Frank Sims and Nathan Velez on the pole. It's Talladega. We've said it. It's bigger, it's better, it's faster, it's wider. And the 2019 season is going to begin at the best track of them all. Green flag in the air. We're racing here in Alabama.
Frank Sims got a big jump on the rest of the field. The field very spread out as they head up into turn 1.
Field rolls off through turns 1 and 2. Everyone trying to get themselves sorted out. Everyone just kind of scattering right now, trying to find their purchase on the racetrack. Just find a place to get stuck in line, and at the top of the, you're going to see the time remaining in the race, but I think that's going to tick over to laps here in just a short while. Meanwhile, Frank Sims up at the top of the board. He's got the 88 of Rusty Webb pushing him along.
Yeah, indeed. You can see these guys are single file. You're probably thinking, oh, this looks a lot like the old package. Give it about 5 laps, and these guys are going to be three wide. You see on the outside there, that is, I'm trying to see what Ford Fusion that is. I believe that's Nathan Velez.
48 of Velez.
Yeah, and there you see 88 of Rusty Webb. He jumps out to the outside lane. There you see Kyle Hanshaw now to the outside.
So
already 3 wide.
The block, that's Rusty Webb moving up to the middle lane. There's a group behind him. Keep my eye on him. That's the 4 of Luis Almaso. He's got help from the 83 of Johnny Thomas. They're charging up on the outside lane with a huge head of steam.
And you can see their outside lane already forming up strong here. And both lanes really have a good shot Do we see a third lane form
We're
here?
going to, but they didn't name it this for nothing. The 3-wide Cup Series. Here they are on the back straightaway now, 2x2x2x2.
And there's Rusty Webb on the outside, followed by Nathan Velez as they head up into turn 3. And you're going to see these guys, I think, take it pretty easy here in these opening laps. There's not really any reason to push so hard. It can get very hairy out there.
Look at this field, Finian. This is so much different than we're used to seeing here at Talladega. And look at the 88. He's got a big run on the outside lane, but he's got help from Velez. But look at Hander. Actually, who is that? That's Handshot.
Yeah.
He's all the way back in 6th, but on the outside lane making a charge. And here comes the 4 up there to help him.
And you see there the 88 or 89 car, excuse me, of Brent Miller. He's trying to work with him on the outside.
Right on board with Austin Verway here for a moment. We can get a look at all this chaos in front, Finian, maybe just biding your time in this 57-lap race.
Oh, I think you're going to have to. There you see the 83 Johnny Thomas. He's going to fall into the inside lane there. Our Truck Series champion from last season.
Looking behind the field, pretty orderly right now. It's not going to be for long.
No. And again, I think this guy's just ticking off the laps here, just trying to figure out how this package is going to operate, because for a lot of these drivers, I'm sure a decent amount of them got some good time under their belts as far as getting this package underway, but still relatively new compared to the old package that we had that was such a pain to race. And there you see these guys flying past the start-finish line.
195 miles an hour for the guys up front. Right on board Brent Miller's car here on the gyro cam as we roll through 1 and 2. A car coming up off the bottom of the racetrack, and that's Jordan McKeeboy in the 21, who's just getting up to speed here. They're going to blow right on by him. And then we're going to get down to the banking again. 33 degrees of banking here at Talladega, and boy, here we go. Tilting up off into the corner, and it's several stories from the bottom to the top, and it looks like the 89's choosing the top lane right now. High as a kite right now.
Yeah, and especially you're going to see that these guys are leaving a little bit of a gap to the wall. I can imagine that later on it's going to be, or right now, as you see Rusty Webb heel out looking on the outside.
Chuck Sweeting has moved his way out to the front in that number 26 car. And he's all by himself right now. He doesn't have to hold off more than just the one lane that's in behind him. But here comes Velez with a push from the 88 up to the outside lane.
And now a big thing is also going to be how much can these guys push? How much, if they're going to even try to test that at this point in time. We are only on lap 5 of 57. We see the 75 getting on a line there, but the 26 of Chuck Sweeting leading the charge.
Rocketing down the back straight. There's a couple eyes in Designs cars hanging out towards the back, but the action right now is up front, and this is so exciting. It's so much better than the old package was. It's so much more fun to watch. We're 5 laps down here, Finian. The question is, when are people going to start to move around? I think they're just trying to get comfortable with the package, but we're going to see the action ramp up here. What do you think you're going to see that now, or are we going to wait a little while?
Oh, I think you're going to probably not see it until lap 50. I mean, you really can charge up to the front in a lap or two. It's a lot like, it's pretty much like the older package that we used to have, but on steroids. It is very easy to build up a run. It's very easy with 2 cars to push up to the front. And if you want it, you can definitely get it.
There's a big stack up right here. The 15, that's the 15 of Frankenfield. The 52 of Justin Kolb, and that was the 24 of Carlos Acosta. They got all stacked up behind.
A nice job of them making sure not to get into each other or looping each other around. But they're going to keep it on straight as they head off on the back straightaway.
Big mess of cars off into turn number 3. There's the 2 of Richard Hines, who started in 15th spot. He's worked his way up to 11th, looking for 10th on the outside of Levi Zielinski. And just look at that 89 car, Finney, and that is, trying to grab the number, that's Brent Miller. And the side, look at the livery on that thing. That is a gorgeous looking paint scheme.
Yeah, that looks a lot better than the actual Exalta paint scheme.
Yeah. Meanwhile, up front, Chuck Sweeting has the spot. Frank Sims looked like he wanted to pop on a line. The 88 did. He's all the way up at the top of the racetrack. Maybe, are we 4 wide for a second? No, we're definitely 3, though.
Yeah, I think he backed off of, I believe that was Nathan Velez. You think he caught him at the wrong place and just backed off, got a little bit scared, but there you see him getting freight train on the inside. He's going to possibly slot himself in here in front of the 64 Chad Brown. Not going to be able to do so.
Wow, look at the 64 fly up the middle of the racetrack. He's bringing the 39 of David Wilson with him. A big head of steam, but up front, a path for position. Velez gets nosed ahead to the 26.
Yeah.
The 46 pushing.
And I think we're going to start to see that outside lane start to work with that 46 of Kyle Hanchel. He is looking very aggressive here, as well as Brent Miller in the 89. So we're going to see them probably succeed. And there you see him starting to go. There you see 48 Velez. He's clear of the inside. Does he drop down? He looks like he's going to.
This is the unique feature of Talladega, that start-finish line so far past the tri-oval. That's going to change how the end of the race is run, Finian. You got to plan it out of turn number 4. You have a lot longer stretch down there than you do at Daytona, so that's going to change things. We'll keep an eye on that as the right progresses and we get towards the end. Who's be able to put themselves in position, but right now the field's still tight, but Nathan Velez has cleared himself. We'll move on back here. There is Corey Lindsay in the 00 with a big run on the inside. He started in 7th, still running there right now. Now he's going to slot himself into 6th, I believe, if he gets by the 89.
Yeah, you can see, I think if you look through, you're probably going to see not a whole lot of movement, decent amount of movement of guys going up to the front and staying in the back. Because again, long race ahead. We still got over 50 laps to go. These guys still have to make a pit stop at some point.
There's the 5 of Sam Closel right on board right now, and take a look at the field in front of him. Pretty standard. I mean, this looks like Talladega used to look, Finn, and I like how that looks.
Yeah, Hanshaw is all the way on the outside lane, and I'm not sure if he's got a problem. Oh, he might be overheating.
Yeah, that's another thing, is that these cars overheat a lot easier than they used to, because you can push so hard. You couldn't do that on the prior package.
Yeah, I was going to say, the problem with the older package was it was so hard to get up to a person, but now you have the exact opposite. It's so hard to get off the person in front of you, so it's hard to keep the engine cool, and I think we're seeing him. Obviously, we can't see his actual temps, but I think we did see him pushing the 48 of Velez very aggressively, so I think he's just trying to, to play it easy here. He's going to drop to the back for a bit.
Yeah, and with that temperature rising, it's just another thing you have to manage. Before, in the old package, you really couldn't get close enough to be able to push the engine up. Now, that's going to be a problem, that looks like tonight. So, Kyle Hanshaw was all the way up towards the front. Started 6th, he's going to be back in 21st now. But so far, pretty orderly. I was expecting a little bit more chaos, I'm not going to lie. But so far, everything's been pretty clean and shiny.
Indeed, we've seen a few comers and goers to the front of the field. Currently now, Brent Miller is going to be leading that outside lane. Now, do we see anyone in the front now drop to the top? If they're going to, they got to make it quick, because they're coming with a charge. Does Chuck Sweden dare to go to the outside?
At 2-car, Richard Hines, I'm watching him, Finney. Remember, he started 15th, he's up to 5th, and charging his way forward a little bit sideways in turn 3, which is not typically something associated with Talladega, but a little bit of a wiggle there. And now the 89 of Brent Miller up on the outside. Not a whole lot of help from the 2 just yet.
It looks like they're playing it pretty easy there. I think the 2 of Hines is kind of just happy where they are right now. So we'll see how the rest of the cars behind them react to it, because we could potentially see someone behind, if they really want to make it past, they might just go around the outside, try to sucker hold them.
Austin Verway in the 91, he's in here somewhere. There he is, that white, black, and red car on the inside lane. He's behind the 4, Luis Amaso. To the outside, Paul Ross. Remember, Ross ran extremely well in the Truck Series last year and didn't end up winning the championship, but had a really good run, and right now sitting in 16th. And I believe competing in both series again this year, so expect to see him at the top of the board in both.
Yeah, indeed, was in the Final 4 for both, but didn't win either. Unfortunately, he's looking for hopefully a better chance this year.
Ooh, big wiggle by the 89 of Brent Miller. He's got Nathan, or actually the 2 of Richard Hines all over him.
That's another thing. These guys got to be careful of pushing it, especially because I'm sure a lot of these guys haven't done it for either too long or a while, because with the older package, you pretty much couldn't push. It was so hard to get up to the person behind you, but now...
That's what I worry about, is when you wiggle like that and you come right across the nose. It's such a dangerous section, or a dangerous part of the drafting for these guys. If you get offset, you see still not quite straight, and that's what I worry, is when people start moving around like this, and we'll keep an eye on these guys. That's making me worried, though.
Yeah, and indeed, especially because compared to the other 2 National Series, I'd say these cars probably have the most roundish noses out of the 3. So you got to be very careful when you're sliding on someone's back bumper. You can easily hook them to the wall.
Yeah, and if these guys get in together here, Finney, and there is 33 cars, actually make that 32. It looks like Matt Grunberg has actually lost the draft here. He's pushing the 21 of Jordan McKeeboy. Caution's out, and I think we got a big wreck up front. Oh no!
Wow.
And that is the field.
There's the big one, and that was in the front of the field. I see Jadricic and the 2 of Hines involved.
And just when we pull away to look at the cars that were in the back, and I have a hunch that started right up front, because you know who's missing is Brent Miller, and he was the 2nd place car. And we were just watching that fight and pulled away just a second too soon, but the entire field...
Oh, actually, Brent Miller... Oh, no, yeah, he's
leading.
No, he's off the track.
He's off the track. Okay, that's timing and scoring. There, we'll take a look. The whole field, and here's a look at it, Finian.
And I'm curious if Hines maybe got into Miller.
Yep.
Oh.
And I pulled away from this right before this happened, but everyone gets junked
and
here.
where do you go if you're...
You can't. There's nothing you can do.
And oh man, it's the big one. We honestly haven't seen many big ones.
No, not that is a big one. Let's take another look. That's a true big one.
Yeah, the big, yeah, and they see the 89 get loose, and around he goes, and then absolutely
42
nowhere.
Almost made it through.
And absolutely nowhere. Actually, I could see some people slowing way down, but yeah, most of the people involved. If we can get a look on the 52, his car looks relatively clean.
New car, we're gonna have to go. It's gonna take me a long time to find him in this stack of drivers.
Or maybe 56. Oh no, yeah, 52.
And here's his look. And you see the smoke, and did he miss this?
Yeah, he
he got rubbed by the 94, but I'll say all in all,
for the
compared to who was in front of him that got through.
Compared to everyone else.
Hello. Oh, someone got hit right.
Oh, that's one of the Eisentech cars.
Let's go back a little bit more. Let's try to find. It's the 53 of Dave Hunt, and Hunt did kind of get involved here again. He starts throttling up right here and had everybody passed.
The 17. Let's look at his onboard.
Yeah, right at the end there too. The 17 of Cameron Rich. He's all the way down at 33rd right now.
And even he got a piece of it, but I mean, I think compared to everyone else, this car's looking in a pretty solid shape.
I mean, what do you do? There's nothing.
And you can also see that you can barely see it. All he sees is a puff of smoke, and I mean,
right up the middle.
Oh, yeah,
pretty big hit there, and big mess behind.
That took out so many cars.
Watch off the rear bumper of Chuck Sweeting, and this is when you cheer silently as a driver. Watch this. And watch the 42 here as well. This orange car.
Ooh.
Oh. And that is the whole field. And I do want to take a look from onboard Kevin Jadrosich because he thought he was through. I'm sure he could see it happening off the right side of the car. And it's hooked.
Oh yeah, he was so close to making out of it, and then
looks like a scene from Cars.
Yeah,
like when Chick Hicks took out the field.
Everyone else a victim.
Oh, what a mess here in the early stages.
So let's see who's left because it's
not a lot.
Not a lot. There's a lot of people still in the pits.
Let's take a look at this, and it's not even to show everybody. I don't think.
So the highest person that's currently not on the that's currently in the pits is 13th. So those are all drivers down on pit road. If we can try to get a camera, you can see. Yeah, pit road's a very busy place. Not because these guys are getting normal servers. They're getting their cars fixed in some shape or form to get back out there. The good thing though about this package is the fact that because it's so much easier to suck up, you can get away with a lot more damage than you would be able to normally. So if they can get there, as long as they don't have a significant amount of engine damage, I think they should be fine.
You know who's really happy about this is Jordan McKeeboy. Who was that other car that was?
Oh, Grunberg.
Was it Matt Grunberg in the 54? And he is, I think,
probably somewhere.
He came to pit road.
He's an 11.
But he is silently cheering because he was not in a great spot. Now he's in a fantastic spot.
Yeah.
So, all right, caution is out here for the first time on lap number 15. While we are here, let's remind you that we have been invited to go out to the Grid Life Motorsports Festival at the end of May and at the beginning of September to commentate real-world racing. It'll be the new Grid Life Touring Cup this year. And it's the first time that this series has been run, but we've been invited to come out and actually go to Gingerman Raceway in Michigan and Road America in September. And in order to be able to fund this trip, we have brought out some merchandise with the SimTV logo on it. And you can find that merchandise in the description. There's a link provided, and you use code FAST, all uppercase, to access the SimTV store and get it for a limited time only. The store will close on April 7th, which is 1 week from now. So go out there and get that and help support us. We're going to vlog the whole adventure, but go out there and help us out, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, indeed. So, sorry.
I'm just going to look at you.
I noticed I said it at that time, but
good.
But yeah, we got so Corey Lindsay's currently leading the field. Nathan Velez, Chuck Sweeting, Nick Miller, Dylan Hickey are top 5, which looks pretty different other than Velez and Sweeting, and even Lindsay for that matter being up there.
So this is gonna be a long night for these guys.
Oh yeah, those cars have seen better days.
Bloomberg is slowing. I'm not sure if he got a penalty of some sort or if he had just come back to pit road. Yeah, he just came back to pit road.
Okay.
I believe that's what. Not confident. Yep. All right, how about take a look at the manufacturer running here, Finian. Relatively even split. There's fewer Fords than there are Chevys and Toyotas, but Corey Lindsey's Camaro, the one sitting out up front. There's the 88 of Rusty Webb. The car's in pretty good shape, I'd say, Finian, other than the rear.
Yeah, other than the rear, and I mean, I would say you wouldn't need that. I mean, you kind of do. You kind of do with it. You need at least some sort of bumper. But I mean, could be worse. It could be worse for him.
Well, it could be a lot better.
He could be like the back half of the field, right? And right now, I think there's only about 20-something cars on the track actually going around. That is not even including the amount of cars that have significant amount of damage.
Yeah, and again, that's just the big one is back. I think for a long time, and this is true not only for iRacing but in NASCAR official races as well. The old package got us so used to running single file that avoiding wrecks was easy. You just get on the brakes, jump out of the lane.
The big one was essentially a 5-7 car wreck.
If that, it might have just be 2 or 3.
Which was normal for most times, but now you're getting the 20 car pileups that take out half the field back. So I think Talladega in the spring is going to be very interesting in real life.
Well, I just again, it's. When you're in the middle of a 3 to 4 wide battle and I think back to Talladega, NASCAR Talladega, October 2012. They're running 4 wide, 4 rows, 5, 6 rows deep, maybe even further than that. For the entire race, they get down to the last lap, and the whole field crashes. 3 cars made it to the start-finish line. That's what that looked like, but they only made it 15 laps. The pros are a lot better than a lot of people give them credit for. All right, 1 to green. We're going to come to restart on lap number 18. Corey Lindsey, the blurry machine out in front of the Gatorade Camaro, and then alongside is Nathan Velez right where he started, so he's managed to squeak on through all this. Chuck Sweeting got through as well as one of the only cars to be in front of the accident, alongside Nick Miller and Dylan Hickey.
So we're coming back to get the green on lap 18. Also forgot to mention that there is a cash payout for this race, $20 to the winner.
Oh, that'll make you drive harder.
Well, and unfortunately, I think half the field's pretty much out of that. And we can, as you guys come past the camera, we'll take, I guess, a quick damage report of the guys still out on the track.
Well, yeah. I mean,
there are a lot still pacing around, but a lot of them
competitive cars.
Yeah, I would say there's about, I think, 10 of the cars that are over 100 miles an hour trying to catch the field. You can see them coming off of turn 2.
And conditions are average, nothing out of the ordinary. These cars have a lot of downforce, but honestly,
yeah, these are the good guys, and then here comes the junkyard here, and no front bumper, no front bumper, no front bumper. That car actually looks kind of good. No front bumper.
Someone chasing the field. That is Rusty Webb and his number 88. He's catching the tail end of the pack here.
Yeah, I think he got service to his Napa Camry.
Look at that field. I mean, again, also 35 cars is a lot of cars.
Yeah.
Even and when something happens, everyone's gonna get involved in it. So we got a caution here early to stall the first race of the 2019 season. No points, really just an exhibition round. But the racing we have seen has been extremely competitive, and it's really a toss-up who's gonna win this race. But I like Chuck Sweeting, I like Nathan Velez, and where did the 2 end up after all that? 15th, right where he started, and how is that car? It's bent, but so are a lot of other cars.
A lot of cars around him are also bent up, but you see these guys now getting ready for the green.
Back to the green flag, lap number 18, Corey Lindsey in control. On down, there's a couple cars out of line towards the rear, but they got to get themselves back in line before the restart. Also got to keep in mind, no changing lanes before the restart. We've seen a lot of guys get called for that in the past. Green flag in the air. Couple cars popping out of line back here. Just keeping an eye. That's the 39 of David Wilson. Contact number 3, the 6 and the 5. We're racing here at Talladega.
Yeah, it's going to be very chaotic in the back as the guys who have damage, they're trying to figure out how good their cars are still handling. Meanwhile, up at the front, Chuck Sweeting and Corey Lindsey breaking away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, I think you're right. That mid to rear pack is going to be really entertaining as everyone tries to figure out what they have here on the restart. Look at this in the back.
There's a bent Ford Fusion to the inside there. I think it was
5. I see the 5 car slowing.
These are pretty much the guys have pretty much junked their cars, but here you see now pretty much the tail end of the good field, which is around 20th place.
Car blinking, that's probably throwing some people off. That's the 9 of Nick Miller, who restarted 4th. He's dropped a couple spots, but side by side for the lead, Nathan Velez, he noses ahead with help from the one of Dylan Hickey, the PPG Mustang, in that the bottom side of your screen, the blue, pink, and yellow car.
Yeah, these guys still going pretty hard at it. I'm kind of surprised because honestly, if I was one of these guys, I would be at the tail end of this pack right now, just trying to make sure, just in case a second wreck happens, I'm in the catbird team.
Kind of a stack up there for a moment as the 48 lost the momentum. Here's the onboard with the 83 of Johnny Thomas as he works his way down the backstretch.
Team using the throttle, and again, a lot of these guys are probably, or not probably, but a lot of guys are going to be off throttle, just kind of coasting around, just again, just kind of riding it out, ticking off the laps here.
And then here's the rest of the field coming on through. This is just to be a long night for them here, Finian. It's a painful drive to drive around Talladega by yourself.
Indeed, I'm also doing the math right now. I think you guys might have control on my pit stop. I think kind of close. I think we got green. We got, let's see, so
6 laps, they gotta go through 40. That's close.
Yeah, it's kind of close. So I don't know. It's going to be kind of up in the air, so we don't know if these guys can make it to the end. There's a slow car on the apron.
And that's the other thing is once these slow cars start to get lapped, it's really going to throw an interesting hat in the ring here. Look at this back straightaway battle. The 48 kind of trying to nose ahead of the 00 again. He's got help from the 26 on the bottom, the 1 car up top, and there's 52 of Justin Kolb. He started in 30th. He's up to 5th right now after avoiding that mess on lap 15.
Yeah, and now we're really going to see a lot of guys who we didn't talk a lot about, guys like Wade Lear, Hunt, Miller, Stevens, Eisenman, Salmasa. All those guys have now come up to the front of the field. They're starting to have a say in this fight.
Again, so many of these cars are damaged that the back half of this field kind of looks like the old package. Everyone's just kind of separated, but towards the front, lots of competition going on. This front 5, though, pushing pretty hard, especially that inside lane, but they're making up ground.
And you're making up quite a bit of ground there. You see guys looking and weaving in the back, trying to figure out what's going on up ahead of them, just in case things go south.
I think it's about time for a Sim TV sound search. Go. Welcome back, and wow, they got a little sketchy there towards the midfield. Everyone being extremely competitive, even with their damaged race cars. They're laying everything out on the line here, closing in on halfway in about 5 or 6 laps here, if I can do the math correctly. Up front, look at Justin Kolb jump into the outside lane now.
Yeah, we saw him jump out of line. He's starting to make up some moves, and here he is. He's about to be in the lead. Well, he's got to get clear of Corey Lindsay on that inside.
This front group is really tightened up. Look at the 77 of Drew Eisenman. He's up there. One of the only Eisentech cars left in this race. 26th is where he started. He's running 10th right now. We're right on board on a backstretch.
Yeah, and he's got the 83 Johnny Thomas up ahead of him. They're trying to make a third line start to work here.
Oh, they're really close to the wall. You saw for a moment the bobble. Oh, car on the apron. That's the... I think it was the...
I think it's 5 is Sam Close.
Thank you. 5 car. Yes.
And now Eisenman goes to the inside of Thomas. Thomas is going to fall back yet again.
How is that 4 car of Salmaso still running like that? That car is destroyed, even especially in the rear, but working out okay for him, I guess. There's Chuck Sweeting up to second. He's been really strong tonight, Fane. He seems like he's content riding in second. He's not pushing very hard. He's in a great spot. If this race were to go to white flag now, I think he'd be in the best spot to win this race.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, really, the way this package is, the leader is completely a sitting duck. It used to be the leader was in probably the preferable position to be in coming to the white flag, but here it's so easy to pull out. You just need to pull out. Someone will come with you because it's so easy to suck up, and you'll just get blown around. So Cortland is going to have to be careful. He's going to be leading this race to the end.
There's a 3 of Tanner Sharp. He started 21st. He's running 4th now. He's also climbed his way through the field with this beautiful blue car that I think is being sponsored. If I can get a good look at it here, it's hard to... Infuel. On the side of that car. It's got Mountain Dew on the hood as well, but he tucks in the inside lane. There's 52 of Justin Cole getting that outside charge, but now up the road there's a lap down car, Finney, and this is going to get really dicey here in a second. Richard Hines off the pace. I think he's coming down to pit lane. But this is where it's going to get exciting with this lap car up ahead. How does the field get around this? There's plenty of space, but a lot of drivers can see what's going on. That's the 94 car, Brandon Klustruz.
And he's currently in 25th, and there you see him going a lap down. So 24 cars on the lead lap remaining. As far as guys in the pack, there's about 20. The top 20 are the cars currently in this pack. Everyone else is kind of falling off the pace and just kind of riding around.
Matt Grunberg started 28th. He's up to 18th. He was involved in that wreck earlier, but his car's not in terrible shape. It's got... actually, no, his car's actually...
I was going to say, he was behind...
Oh, he was one of the ones that was
He was with
behind
McKeeboy, yeah, who's actually right in front of him.
That was my mistake there. There's the 39 and David Wilson. The back end of his car is all torn to pieces. The front's looking okay, and then the contrast, there's Levi Zielinski.
Yeah, I was going to say,
completely ripped off.
Zielinski's car is in probably one of the worst shapes of the field. Although the back end's pretty nice, that front end is completely gone. So he's gonna have to. He has to make sure he sticks in behind guys. I don't think that car can survive out there by itself.
How about that red car on the inside lane? That's Wade Lear. Learjet number 11, conveniently, and tucked in fourth on the inside row. Also in a good spot. I also love that number. It looks like the Dodge hash marks.
Oh yeah, that does look very nice in number 11. But you see the field stacking up. And how about the 53 of Dave Hunt currently on the outside?
Yeah, he got involved in that wreck pretty severely, but staying in the draft is helping him a lot.
Yeah, you can see on the car too, he's got some visible damage to the left side and the nose of that car, but still going pretty strong.
A little bit of wiggle on the inside by the Tanner Sharp car and Wade Lear. They hit that apron, and that's not the thing you want to do. That's the one of Dylan Hickey dropping out of line. Not sure, maybe overheating in that car.
Yeah, I think or it could just be he wanted to drop out of this fight, but he's going to be kind of in danger of losing the pack, so we'll see how he does. But the field charges on 2, 3, and 4.
Do they charge on? Look at that. 2, 2, 2. How many rows are we too deep right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6.
Yeah.
Up front. We're pushing. We're closing in halfway here. .39 of Wilson. You mentioned him. He got involved in that wreck. He's got Twitch on the side of that car with the yellow number.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job. The only thing that he's got to be worried about if we can go on board from the car behind him is that he's got to worry about his rear bumper because there's a giant crest in there. And there you can see it. So if someone, particularly a Ford, considering how round the nose is, if they catch him in the wrong place, it could easily hook him around. So that's the only thing he's got to be careful about.
I think a lot of drivers have to be conscious of how much they're pushing the car in front with this kind of damage. See the joke there, the rest area on the next lap. There was a lot of cars that took a pit stop early to fix their damage, but there's still some cars up front that are kind of a scratch on them. And one of them is Corey Lindsay, the 00. Another one is Chuck Sweeting.
Yeah, 3 wide midfield there.
That's the 4-car Luis Amaso on the outside of Chad Frankenfield. Remember, Frankenfield, not only did he win the championship in the Driver Development Series, he dominated it. That was with the Xfinity car, and honestly, the Cup car is not all that dissimilar to the lower level cars now. So this season, I expect the 15 to be really competitive. Car jumping out of line, that's Wade Lear on the inside.
I thought I just saw some smoke, but
it's I think there's a blinker. That's
I think that was the 9.
car.
Yeah, but there you see Lear now dropping out on the line. I think he's going to join the 1.
Yeah, so the 1's back here. There's Dylan Hickey, and I think they're going to team up here. I would be surprised if they didn't. Got the run up coming.
Yeah, but I'm sure he is.
But already, I mean, the 1 was actually kind of in danger here because he was beginning to lose the draft. He's actually going to dive to the inside, and Wade Lear's not going to contest it too much. But he is going to try to tuck in line behind.
There's also behind. Who is that? That is
Kyle Hanshaw in 46, and then there's another pack with Rusty Webb way on back Paul Ross,
Yeah,
a couple other cars.
but they are going significantly slower. They're running 50.8s, and the field's running 48.9. So they're losing quite a bit of time back there.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think they can really expect a whole lot else. I mean, their cars are so damaged.
And I'm surprised that Webb is doing not holding on that well in the pack back there. So
yeah, his nose was actually pretty clean. So maybe he had some underbody damage or something, or maybe the rear spoiler got damaged in that whole ordeal. Look at David Wilson on the inside, kind of closing that gap up to the 3 car of Tanner Sharp. And I don't know. I think Zielinski's got less damage than it's actually showing. There's no way this car should be running as good as it is, but here he is. Post a note. I think it was a Fusion when it started.
Yeah, it was a Fusion.
Yeah, can't tell anymore.
A little bit of a shake.
Bigger Cam just got run over.
A little bit of a shake from Tanner Sharp in the 3. I've noticed that. I'm not sure if these guys are actually fighting loose conditions, because I would be surprised considering that giant spoiler on the back should be pushing the car on the ground.
And I think it could be also steering ratio related. I know some drivers run a really tight steering ratio, and just a little wiggle can really throw your car around. So I think that might be the case. Some drivers, the steering ratio is adjustable even on a fixed setup. So a lot of these drivers will tune it to their preferred setting. I like mine generally pretty tight, but I don't like it to the point where you just move it and you turn all the way.
I kind of like mine like a truck driver. I like having a lot of play in it, just to kind of avoid that issue of getting loose mid-corner like that.
Take a look at our race information. We've had 1 caution so far for caution laps. That seems short, but I guess that's true. 6 lead changes so far in the 33 laps. Closing in on Finian. We only have about 20 minutes of racing left if this goes green. This is a relatively short race, and the intensity level has already been high, but it's going to pick up even more. Look at the 48 car of Nathan Velez giving a big shove to the 52 on the back straight, but is it going to be enough to get to the inside?
Oh, and I was just going to say, does the 52 leave him? And he does, so Velez now leading that outside lane. He's got Dave Hunt, who's a damaged car behind, as well as Frankenfield, so he's got 2 damaged cars behind him. I'm not sure his outside lane's going to be able to last too long.
And you saw the 48, as soon as the 52 pulled in, it was like a brick wall hit him. He slowed way down because of all that air resistance. Everyone's kind of scrambling on the first part of the straightaway. It almost looked like they were all coming to pit road.
Yeah, it did. I do have a sneaking suspicion we might see some guys come down pit road because you can go about 40, 42 laps on a tank. It's kind of up in the air just a little bit due to the way this newer package works. These guys do have a lot more off throttle time, so I'd say you could probably go 42, 44 with a full tank of gas. So it's going to be kind of close on fuel for these guys.
Down the back straightaway now for the 34th time. Some shuffling going on here around 4th through 10th. 24, Carlos Acosta got on the apron just a tick, but put back on.
And he's got now the 77 of Drew Eisenman trying to run the highline. I haven't seen a lot of Eisenman. He dropped back quite a bit, but here he is now moving up to the front, and he's going to try to slot himself in front of Acosta. That was very close.
Slotted right in line. Also, again, we've talked about Dave Hunt before. There goes slotting back up the racetrack. But that 53 car is actually pushing pretty well, considering the damage on his car. And Nathan Velez, I don't think they have enough momentum to get to the lead, but they can certainly hang there. And if Chuck Sweeting wants to go up the racetrack, he's going to have a great push from behind.
And now Eisenman's going to join them out there. Eisenman doing a great job of leapfrogging through the field. He's up there, and I see an outside lane forming toward the back, and that's led by Matt Grunberg. Actually, also, we can look at the tail end of that field with Wade Lear and Kyle Henshaw. They're starting to move their way back up to the front. So they've caught the rest of the field now.
Yeah, Henshaw's just kind of hanging on. He's got to be careful because if you look behind him, that's like staring off at the edge of a cliff. Yeah. If you lose this little dangle of rope that you have that's draped in front of you and you fall down that cliff, it'll be a long end of the night.
Yeah, he is definitely closing in on Wade Lear though, so you shouldn't have too much to worry about. You just got to make sure he keeps hitting the gas, can't let off now.
So he's riding at 190 miles an hour in the corner up front. Just about a 2-mile-an-hour difference. That's Chuck Sweeting. There's a lap car up the road. I think that's Frank Sims in the number 75, who was our pole sitter on the night. And things have not gone his way this evening. That's in the story of his last couple months or so, unfortunately for him.
Although definitely he picked up quite a bit of pace in the 3-wide development series. Did pretty well there, so I expect to see him jump to the front.
Stuff went on in the back. Here are some takers to pit road. Eisenman coming on down. So this is going to lead me to believe that everyone's going to make a pit stop here to the end.
Either that, or we could see maybe some guys trying to pull it out to the end. It could be getting interesting here.
We've been going for 23 laps on fuel since the restart.
So we're pretty much halfway through the run.
Yeah. So you'd have to go 44 laps on a tank of fuel. I think that's possible, but they haven't had any cautions. I think you're gonna have to come.
Yeah, and again, you might be able to if you just sit in behind the guy and just constantly letting off the gas, putting out as little throttle input as you can.
If this was a points race, you might try something like that. But for a fun race, you want to actually be able to compete, and I think you're gonna want tires and fuel, or maybe just fuel. Here comes the rest of the field. Ooh, Chuck Sweeting. Oh, I saw him diving down, but wow, 4-wide. Hello on pit road. And somehow they made it.
And so Grunberg and just Grunberg stays out. The entire rest of the field came in.
Oh yeah, Grunberg probably should have come with that.
Yeah,
field,
so no one else has come I think everyone is pretty much coming in. No one's staying out trying to stretch fuel. Ooh, someone went flying into the pit wall there in the back of the Ford Fusion. I think. I'm trying to see the number. I can't see.
Oh, that's Austin Roy's number 91. I saw negative numbers there.
Yeah, and that's going to take him out of the fight here. A very unfortunate break. That car looks semi-competitive. Was able to hang in with the pack, but they see the race off of pit road now.
Frantic right now for the moment, but Corey Lindsay and Chuck Sweeting get away free. 20 laps to go, but Matt Grunberg, he's coming on in with McKee Boy. This has been the plan from the start. These guys were already working together after the McKee Boy missed the start in the 54 team.
So I was kind of worried that he would just get freight trained by everyone else. He did have McKee Boy to work with, so it shouldn't be as bad. And if they come out together, he should be in a good spot.
Here comes Eisenman. He pitted a lap earlier. He's actually going to leapfrog a couple cars here and drop right down in front of the 24 Carlos Acosta. Now he'll set his sights on 5th place Justin Cole up the road. But David Wilson also played out this very nicely and got himself into 4th. But the front two, Corey Lindsay and Chuck Sweeting, sitting in a good spot.
And Grunberg now is coming off of pit road. And here he is across the line. He's a little bit disconnected from McKee Boy, and here they come. So he's definitely not gonna be able to lead. I'm just kind of curious about where is he gonna end up in this pack because everyone got pretty strung out.
Yeah, well, he was towards the rear of the field anyway when he came into the pits, and how much more drag these cars have in small groups, I think he'll be just fine. Actually, Grunberg's gonna pop right out here.
Oh wow!
And be right near the lead.
Oh. So yeah,
well played.
So yeah, he'll probably get past by these first two groups. He'll get a little bit of drafting. He'll probably join that third pack led by Eisenman. So worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah, still a 10-mile-an-hour difference between the two. Now these guys the leaders just split. The 88 of Rusty Wet really loose in the corner, and I think that's the 27 car, Jonathan.
Oh, and here comes Eisenman. He's going to charge the inside of Grunberg, but he's going to have a lap car out of him.
Whoa, this is chaos back here.
Yeah, and here you see guys trying to navigate through the hole.
Oh, there was a hole there, then it closed, and now here comes the 77 of Eisenman trying to get to the rear bumper of Gold. He does. And they're split. Hey, there's Paul Ross on the outside. They're going to drive right on through.
Yeah, so these guys still trying to work through some traffic here. They're able to survive it. How about Grunberg now going to go ahead of the 52 on the 39? So he's going to be up into 3rd place. This has Chuck Sweeting and Corey Lindsay up ahead.
Contact on the back straight. Whoa, that's the 52 of Cole chasing over. Who is that behind him? That's the 3 car of Tanner Sharp. He chased them all the way across the racetrack just to throw a block.
Yeah, that could have been ugly there, but these guys sorted themselves out.
And a push from Tanner Sharp.
And these guys finally cut back up to the leaders of the pack, starting to reform, although a little bit smaller than it was before.
Yeah, they haven't had a steam though, this 52 and 3 combination here. What are they going to do with it?
I think they're going to try to work on the
outside.
They're going to
go for the lead. We're going to be 2 by 2 by 2 for the lead.
3 wide up for the lead here. Big run by the 52 on the outside with help from Tanner Sharp and the one of Dylan Hickey. So how is this going to work out? This is going to be fun.
Up front, it's 2 Camaros and a Ford Fusion. And there's no Toyotas
and
up here.
There they go to ditch. So the 52 is now on the outside by himself. He's going to lose some momentum. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of Toyotas taken out in that or in the back of this. So Tate Lytle is currently the leading Toyota in 9th.
Mike
56.
Stevens is the second one in 11th. We haven't talked a whole lot about Stevens tonight, but sitting in a decent spot. And they're starting to single file out again, Finian, but the 3 and 52 had a big run, and now Tanner Sharp sitting in 3rd. That was expertly played out by him.
And a great move by him. Even Grunberg, too, to get himself in a solid spot. He's got Costa behind him, as well as
right across the nose of the 54, and he's going to have a shot for the lead here. Now we've got some cars that don't have any damage up front. This is going to be a great opportunity for the 3 car to get the lead.
And look at Tate Lytle, too, in the 56. We were just talking about him being the leading Toyota. He's jumped up to the top side. He's going to try to go around these guys, and we got a race on our hands.
Coming to 15 to go at the line, and now everyone's getting racy side by side up front. everyone trying to pick a line to race with.
It looks like Tanner Sharp, if they keep up this momentum, he's going to be the leader at the line. We'll see what the inside line's able to, how they're able to recover. But even Eisenman's joining on the top side, and Johnny Thomas, I was going to say he's going to go on the outside, he goes to the inside. So 2x2, 5 rows back for the lead here.
15 laps to go here at Talladega. And now the chess match begins here, Finian. You're going to try to position yourself. It's not a matter of track position at this point. It's a matter of your strategy. This is a chess match at 195 miles an hour. You have to place yourself in just the right spot. You have to think this all through, to run your mind through 150 different scenarios and figure out where you want to be on that last lap to get a victory, because you don't just luck into a Talladega victory. You have to earn it the hard way. And how do you do that? With some luck.
Yeah, with some luck. And there you see Tanner Sharp. He's able to get ahead of Grunberg. He dives down in. Grunberg's not going to be the leading car on the outside lane. I haven't seen a lot out of the 54 here tonight. He's been very, very quiet for most of this race, but here he is up in the front trying to fight for the win.
Grunberg set the world on fire last year in the Truck Series. He won a bunch of the starts. He came in late, won a bunch of races, ran extremely well. Tonight he's been kind of under the radar, but now he's back up front competing for the lead. He's actually going to lead this lap with 14 laps to go at Talladega.
And leading lap's not going to mean much. Oh, Carlos Acosta looking greedy. He looks to the
middle.
inside. He forces Grunberg to the outside lane. Grunberg's going to go back to the back of the pack.
Although the 24 has some left front damage, so you see him already slowing.
Ooh,
56 of Lytle's trying to push him forward.
Lytle trying to give him some momentum. It looks like that car is fine. A little bit of rear damage as well for the 24, but should be fine. It looks like they're having no problem getting up the side of the 3.
They're holding that inside lane. Oh, contact! Right in front of the field. Here they go. Crash to the 3 car. Upside down in turn 4. Bouncing down the banking. The front cars involved and tumbling through turns 3 and 4. And Tanner Sharp took a ride, and caution is out with 14 to go.
And a terrible wreck for the 3 of Tanner Sharp.
All right, let's go back. I know what you're gonna say. I was gonna hold my composure, but I can't. All right, let's go back. And this is you gotta feel for Tanner Sharp here, but let's take a look at this, Finian. Bad timing. And the 24 gets turned off the nose of the 56. Might have been some neck
Yeah,
code
that was
there.
definitely some neck code. And the 3 spinning like a top down, the banking,
Eisenman
and got hit.
Oh, it's ridiculous looking.
Yeah.
Eisenman almost got through it in the 77 and then gets turned into the fence right on board of his view. Shoots for the middle, gets some contact, and he thought he was through, and just like before with the other car that was Giatterson earlier, and then someone came through there and drilled the nose after that had happened. But let's see, who was the... Let's see if we can look on board the 00. Watch from behind. I meant that was Chuck Sweeting. But Sweeting might have gotten some damage as well from the 1 car. Oh, big hit there, and you see the 3 car tumbling. Tanner Sharp, not the way he wanted to end this race. He had the lead for a moment.
You know what? And actually, I'm kind of curious. So here's the wreck happening. Wow, look at the 54 he was able to get by. And remember, he was in the lead. I think just a lap before, got freight trained from everyone else. And here he is with a clean car up inside the top 5.
Okay, let's reset the running order for you. Corey Lindsay at the top of the board. Chuck Sweeting, Dylan Hickey. 83 of Johnny Thomas was in... Yes, the 54 Grunberg is 5th, like you mentioned. How about the 63 of Mike Stevens, David Wilson, Luis Salmaso in the 4 car. That car is destroyed. He's still running 8th. Hanshaw 9th. Nick Miller in 10th. And we've only had 2 cautions so far. Less than I thought we would have tonight. To be honest, I thought this new package would give these drivers a lot more trouble. But 2 big ones have kind of taken out some of the top runners. But Chuck Sweeting and Corey Lindsay have put themselves in a fantastic position to win this race. And I'm going to make you pick one of them now. Or one of any of these drivers.
Ooh, you know what? I think the 54 Grunberg. I think he looks like he knows what he wants to do, where he wants the car to be at the right time. Was lucky there at the end that he got taken 3 wide by Acosta, and that put him in the back. But we saw him play very carefully in the beginning part of the race, waited for the big one to happen, then slowly moved his way up to the front, got to the front, and was pretty much able to stay there. So I think That 54 is going to be one to watch.
I'm going to pick a guy that has been up front all night, has been involved in absolutely nothing going bad, and I'm going to regret saying this now, but he's had some really good luck tonight, missing Rex. I think the 26 car of Chuck Sweeting is going to victory lane, and speaking of Chuck Sweeting, let's talk to him. Let's bring him up to the booth and have a little chat. Yeah, I'm already. Hey, Chuck Sweeting, it's Kyle from the SimTV booth. You got a copy? Give me 1 second. I have my long foot here. Let's try it again. Hey, Chuck Sweeting, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. You hear me?
I got you. Sorry, I was on my end there. Well, welcome to Talladega for the first race of the season. You've been doing a great job this evening, but you put yourself in second spot most of the night. You've been missing the Rex. What's the plan for the end here?
I'm not sure. I don't have any teammates in here, and so hopefully somebody will just want to give me a push, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's kind of out on an island feeling.
Yeah, I mean, do you think you really require a dedicated teammate now, or can you still kind of do every man for yourself? I feel like the old package, you kind of needed a teammate more because it was so hard to get runs, but it seems like now you can kind of do more on your own.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to stay with somebody on your own. But I don't really think, unless you've got more cars in the outside lane than the inside lane, I don't think you can pass the leader if he's got a good pusher behind him. So I don't really know. We're going to see how it works out here.
All right, Chuck. Well, good luck out there. Keep it out of the fence, and hopefully we'll talk to you later in victory lane.
All right, thank you.
Chuck was. What channel were you in, Chuck?
Mystery Motorsports.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, appreciate it. I didn't do my due diligence and check what channel he was in before. All right, 11 laps to go. We're going to be coming to 10 next time by, and probably 9 to go for the restart. I know you picked one that you expect to win. Who's someone that you think is going to get shuffled out of this mess?
I don't know. I would... it's kind of hard to tell. Honestly, all those guys look like they should probably be there. I'd say maybe Dylan Hickey in the 1. We've seen him go up to the front, but he hasn't really been able to stick there. We see him slowly fall to the back. He could have just been playing it safe, just trying to get himself out of the action, but we'll see what the 1 does here on this restart.
Yeah, that would have been my pick too. He doesn't seem like he's been as consistently up front. But we're going to have less than 10 to go, Finney. I think all bets are off. And while we're waiting for this caution to conclude, I do want to remind people one more time tonight about our plans for 2019 in regards to the Grid Life Motorsports Festival. We've been invited out there to go commentate real-world racing for the Grid Life Touring Cup in Gingerman Raceway in the end of May, and then at Road America in the fall in September. We need your help to get there, and we are selling merchandise to help fund our trip with SimTV logos. There's hoodies, there's zip-up hoodies, there's quarter zips, there's t-shirts. Everything you definitely want is in that link in the description, and you can use code FAST, all uppercase, to get access to the store. It's flat rate shipping across the entire continental United States for any number of items. Go ahead and take advantage of that. While it's still there, you have 7 days to make a purchase before that goes away. Thank you so much for supporting us, and of course we'll be vlogging that whole experience as we get there. So exciting doors opening for us in the future, not only with sim racing but also real racing, as we should get the 1 to go here for the restart.
Indeed, you can see too, the sun's starting to set here at Talladega. Nice little orange glow on the track. And that means that this race is coming to an end there. We're going to get the restart with 9 laps to go, and like you said, all bets are off. And I think there's a pretty strong chance that this is not going to be the final caution.
You spend the entire night trying to get to the top of this pylon. How far forward do you have to be able to make a run to the end here with 9 to go?
Honestly, you can really, as long as your car's in a decent shape and you're able to keep up speed with the rest of the pack and able to have some movement with your car, I think you could really start almost anywhere here. Out of the guys remaining, we only got 19 cars on the lead lap. I'd say out of the guys remaining, probably only 15 of them have a good car. I would say really any of those 15 have a solid shot here with 9 laps to go.
From high above Talladega Super Speedway, again, it's a 2.66 mile track with 33 degrees of banking. It's huge, it's awesome, it puts on really good racing. I really wish we put lights at this place and go at night, but I think you'd need power to Or a small city.
You also need a small fortune, too. You need a
Or
lot
large
of
fortune.
lights.
Well, they just pumped millions and millions of dollars into this racetrack this year for 2019, and none of those things included lights, unfortunately. But there are lots of cool fan experience things that they've changed. But I'd like to visit someday. Bristol's also on my list, but... All right. We're going to have 9 laps to go here in a 57-lap race to start off the season. Again, no points on the line, but there is money and a victory and some bragging rights on the line. These brand new cars, they got the fresh... You can still smell the paint on them. They're so new for the season. But,
Oh, and I wanted to just mention something. I just remembered a statistic I was looking at earlier. Johnny Thomas has won the race in the last 2 years. He's going for 3 this year. And he's restarting in 4th.
boy. Pace car pulls off. It's a long stretch down to the start-finish line here at Talladega. That's why this place is so unique. And it makes for entertaining finishes. We're going to find out in just over 8 minutes who's going to win the first race of the 2019 RaceKings Cup Series presented by 3Wide. And the season starts in just 1 week. 0-0, Corey Lindsay alongside Chuck Sweeting, Dylan Hickey, Johnny Thomas, Matt Grunberg, your top 5. Green flag flies. We're finishing here at Talladega. 9 laps to go.
Oh, and the outside lane, Chuck Sweeting didn't get as good of a start, but here he's got Johnny Thomas behind him, trying to push him up to the front here. Top 5 actually slowly broken away, but that's not going to be for long.
Yeah, the question is anyone did anyone lay back enough to get a run? Now look at Sweeting. He's got a big head of steam with the 83 pushing. And we watch from the side view here. Look at that run. They're going to get on the back straightaway. The 26 and 83 coming to the front. You mentioned that stat with Johnny Thomas, Finian. We ignored him all night in that Carhartt Chevrolet Camaro. He's sitting in a fantastic spot to win this race. The 26 to the lead. The 83 stuck the nose up the middle. Couldn't make it stick. And now the 0-0 comes back to the inside. And here's Matt Grunberg on the outside lane in the 54.
Yeah, indeed, into the inside. Mike Stevens, haven't seen a lot of him all night. Here he is in 5th place.
8 laps to go at the line. Corey Lindsay has a spot. Dylan Hickey riding in 2nd. They're 3 wide behind him as they try to get themselves sorted out. That's the 9 car, I believe. That's Nick Miller. That was sideways. There's the 21 of McKeeboy, who started the race late and is now 3 laps down after all that chaos. But looking for the lead. Here comes the 83 of Johnny Thomas. He's gotten in front of Chuck Sweeting, and now he's coming to the front of the outside lane out of turn 2.
Yeah, he's going to have a big head of steam. He's got strong cars behind him, the 26 and the 54. Both of them are very strong, and they're building up a big run here. You can see on the inside, there's not many people in behind them.
And Chuck Sweeting said he needed more cars in the outside lane to make it work, but now they're dead even 3 and 3 in the 4 car. So also has to pick a line. He looks like he's going to choose the bottom. There's Kyle Hanshaw in the background, though. He's got the 52 of Cole, and I think that's the 91. Who is that? Yeah, it is the 91 of Austin Verway back there, who might be able to help him out. Actually, that's Wade Lear in the 11, excuse me. 7 laps to go. Thomas knows out ahead. He leads that lap.
Indeed, he's just ahead, clear of Corey Lindsay. He's going to pull down. He's going to secure the lead. That leaves the open lane up to Chuck Sweeting and Matt Grunberg. What are they going to do? They're going to have Kyle Hanshaw and Wade Lear in behind. What are those guys going to do?
Corey Lindsay looks to the outside, almost contacted with the quarter panel. 3 wide down the back straightaway, 7 to go at Talladega.
I was just going to say, I felt like Hanshaw and Lear were going to go to the top side. There they are, trying to mount their own run on the outside. How is this going to work?
Hanshaw and Lear with a run, but they're pushing and shoving, and do they have to, are they going to blow up? They have, remember, 7 laps to go. It's a long way to go here at Talladega. It's 15 miles.
Yeah, they don't have enough of a run here. I don't think they're going to have to back off for a little bit to cool that engine down and build up for one final run, because they can't stay out there for much longer.
Chuck Sweeting up the middle. He's got help from the 54 of Grunberg at the line. He leads that lap by 33 thousandths of a second. And then here comes the 46 to the outside with a big shove from the 11. 2 by 2 for the lead. We're going to go 3 by 3 for the lead here at Dega.
And you can see Sweeting and Grunberg, they have opponents on both sides. They're stuck in the middle, but still able to lead over the rest of this pack.
Sweeting is clear. Does he pull down or does he stay middle? I think you want to stay up the racetrack a little bit. But now he's going to pull down to the inside lane to block the advance of the 83 of Thomas. I think he knows how good Thomas is here at Dega.
Yeah, we're going to see that outside start to lose some momentum here. What is Hanshaw and Wade Lear going to do?
Out of turn 4. We're coming to 5 laps to go. Look at the 83 to the top. Elevator move. Bottom to top. He's going to pull right in front of Matt Grunberg in the 54.
And let's see the run they're building up. Also in the outside lane, Wade Lear and Hanshaw, and also Frank
Wiggle.
Fields.
Here goes the 46 out of control,
boy.
but he saves it. Somehow it doesn't crash in front of the field.
Almost got into the quarter panel. Grunberg, he's going to stay behind him. Thomas is going to drop down low. Grunberg now leading the outside lane.
The 83 of Thomas has put himself in a great spot. Sweeting is stuck behind. Grunberg is holding him down there. Look at the double zero below the yellow line at turn 2. Now the 46 with a run on the outside lane to the outside of the 54 of Grunberg. And here they come on the outside. Kyle Hanshaw up to 3rd place.
And Frankenfield now pushing Grunberg on the middle lane. Now they're going to try to move to the front. There goes Mike Stevens to the middle lane.
What lane do you want to be in? The 46 out of control again. Wade Lear's been pushing that car, but can't get it to stay straight. We're going to be coming to 4 laps to go. Thomas is leading Chuck Sweeting right behind, and Corey Lindsay tucked up right underneath the spoiler. How close? This close.
Indeed, this close. I was curious if Chuck Sweeting is going to jump up in front of Grunberg. He didn't take the opportunity. Now, what is Thomas going to do to try to hold on to the lead?
Mike Stevens has just brought some friends to the party. There's the 4 Luis Almaso right at the back of the shot. There's Jordan McKeeboy, who's 3 laps down, but could be a drafting partner. The 4 and the 11 have lost, or excuse me, the 46 and the 11 have lost their momentum, but they're going to try again on the outside. No one's been going up there. They just have a lane all to themselves.
Indeed, I think it's too far back to move up that far up the track to try to go up to the front, but I mean, they're going to try. Whoa. And now here comes Frankenfield. Stevens look like they look for a second. Now, Stevens going to go and try to go in front of Hanshaw. Couldn't get it done.
The 6 car, Levi Zielinski, is up here now. Look at him. He's working his way inside the top 5 now behind the 54 Grunberg. We're coming to 3 laps to go. Just about 7.5 miles at the line. Johnny Thomas is leading. You mentioned the stat. Can he do it again? Chuck Sweeting in 2nd. Corey Lindsay 3rd. Grunberg in the outside lane. He's got help from the 6th. But here comes the 46 and the 11.
Oh.
They're in the fence up at the top of turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, big checkup from that inside towards the outside lane. It looks like Hanshaw and Lear are going to have to settle in behind. It's still anyone's race at this point.
Down the back straightaway now. We'll only see this 2 more times. The end of the race.
Boy, a lot of moving back there, and remember, we're in the territory. If a caution comes out, race is going to be over, so they got to make it back at least another 2 times to get the white flag to really start going at it.
$20, bragging rights, momentum on the line. Who's going to be the one to carry a win into the season? But it starts next week. Contact! The 1 car is going to spin. Does he cause a caution?
No, he's going to be off the track.
This is going to be close.
They're off the track now. It depends. If he pulls straight on, it'll bring out the caution. He stays on the apron, he should be good. And I think we're still going to be green here for the moment. Grunberg and Thomas now side by side.
The 1 car has spun out of turn 4, but now it's a drag race. 2 to go. 83, Johnny Thomas. 54, Matt Grunberg. The blue and white Ford Fusion on the outside lane. Levi Zielinski is the 2nd car in line in the middle groove. He's got help from Jordan McKeeboy, who's 2 laps down. Hanshaw and Wade Lear pushing again on the outside lane. To the inside. The 26 giving a big shove to Johnny Thomas.
What are these guys going to do here on that outside lane? Wade Lear and Kyle Hanshaw, they haven't been able to build up a run here. They only got a lap and a half to go.
Coming to the white flag, it's going to be 2.66 miles around Talladega. They got to do the banks 1 more time. And here we go.
The white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go, 4 turns. Will it be Johnny Thomas at the line or will it be someone else?
Johnny Thomas is going to lead them down. But in 2.66 miles, we're
big
not
run.
sure who's
big
going to be
run
in the
middle
lead.
lane.
Here comes Grunberg now. With help from the 6, but does he have enough? Where does the 46 car go? Does he have anything left in the tank with the 11 pushing him down the back straight?
Whoa!
Shift onto the inside lane. Here they come on the back straight.
Oh, they're doing something back there. Oh, the leader gets turned. Who's going to make it? Stevens has made it through.
Mike Stevens, no caution. Through to the lead. Mike Stevens,
It's him and Kolb. They're the only 2 cars left. How is this going to work out?
Checkered flag waving, and Mike Stevens and Justin Gold, they crash at the line. Who's going to make it to the finish?
Who's in 3rd?
David Wilson is coming through.
Is he going to make it? Oh my God.
He's coming through. Where's the leader? They're both crashed at the start-finish line. They have to make it through the tri-oval. David Wilson's coming with a head of steam to the line.
There he goes around them.
David Wilson, coming to the checkered flag all by himself, is going to somehow win at Talladega.
Have you ever?
No, I have
What
never.
on earth was that? Wow, that was something from the 70s right there. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
That was that was 3 separate changes for the lead, but not how you expect to see a change for the lead. We saw 2 wrecks taking out the remaining contenders and someone coming out of nowhere back to the line.
What? What just happened?
I have no clue.
David Wilson from where was he even running on the white flag?
I am curious. I think he might have been in the middle, probably towards the back end of it. But here he comes through the tri-oval. Here's going to be your race winner. in an insane turn of events here. I'm just glad we got this on camera.
What? Never seen a race finish like that before. And he'll celebrate. I bet you he was not. He's probably as confused as we are right now, to be totally honest.
I think the entire field's as confused as we are. They see Acosta joining him at the line.
That's cool stuff right there.
And oh man.
And David Wilson celebrating the victory to start the season. We're going to watch replays, don't worry.
Oh, we have to go through a lot of replays because there were two separate wrecks that took out the two remaining cars.
Yeah, we're watching replays.
Yeah,
we'll let David Wilson enjoy his burnout here for a moment, then we'll go on back, we'll take a look at it. All right. Excuse us for not having the words to comprehend what just happened.
This makes me happy that we don't have the yellow flag coming out of the white flag. Yeah.
Well, the reason is because we don't have to worry about sending people to the hospital when they barrel through to the finish line. But let's go back and let's watch this mess of a finish. But David Wilson in the right place at the right time, I guess. I mean, what even happened? Here's the look at the crash.
He was nowhere near them. Wow.
Here's a look at it again from up above.
Yeah, and
they were below the yellow line. And
they were trying to merge.
Barrel rolled through the
they
middle.
were 5 wide at one point there, and 4 wide can work, 5 wide can. And then through the smoke, we'll see that Wilson, Mike Stevens and Kolb get through. They were able to get through the mess.
And they finished 8th and 9th.
Yeah.
So here's the look at them coming through 3 and 4 now.
And you see Kolb look to the outside. Stevens is having none of it because, again, he can't really do much other than try to dissuade the 52.
Yeah, and he had to do something.
Yeah, and they got together hard on the wall.
And then where's the 39?
And through a second plume of smoke, the 39, who is absolutely nowhere near any of the rest of the pack, just comes flying through with the leaders there you see smoking on the bottom.
Oh, that's one way to pick him.
Yeah,
let's go back and watch from the 39.
Yeah, let's watch from his view. You'll see that. You'll see. So here he is coming in 3 and 4. The wreck has already happened, and he's probably thinking, "All right, I'll probably get top 5 out of this. None of it's gonna matter at this point." But he's just kind of, he actually slowed down a little bit trying to figure out how to get through the pack. There he goes. He's
just driving through a graveyard of cars. And there's the 83 of Johnny Thomas, who recovered for 3rd. Chad Frankenfield ended up 2nd. But this long drive, I mean, race should have been over by now.
Yeah.
And there's the rest of the cars all
torn
up.
And then he sees the leaders now wrecked, and then he passes them in the trial.
Oh my goodness. The start-finish cam was a lonely place for a long time. And then he came across the line right there. All right, Finian, well, that was one way to end a race. And the 39 car is going to end the night on top of the scoring pylon. Oh, I need to take a breath for a second.
Yeah, that last lap took 53 seconds to happen.
54 seconds. And Johnny Thomas finished 3rd with a lap time of 1 minute and 6 seconds. That's pretty darn good if I do say so myself. All right, we'll be right back. Let's talk to your winner and a couple others. Stay with us.
We need your help. The Grid Life Motorsports Festival is allowing us to visit Gingerman Raceway in May and Road America in September to commentate broadcasts for the new Grid Life Touring Cup Series. This would be our first opportunity to call real-world racing, but we need your help to get there. We're selling SimTV gear as a fundraiser to help us travel to these events. Click the link in the description and use code FAST to get access and help us out.
Welcome back live to SimTV. We're here now with Justin and Kolb, who finished 9th after coming to the checkered in 2nd place out of turn 4. Justin, I know that wasn't exactly what you wanted to have happen there at the finish, but just walk us through the chaos there on that last lap.
That was insane, There was at one point there I thought we had a good shot at it, and then the 9 car was having his issues blinking, and then I got some damage for whatever happened there, and then I was kind of just trying to find whichever lane was going. Everyone was just kind of jockeying around as you do at Talladega when it's under 5 to go, and the white flag, everybody kind of went down to the bottom, then they all wrecked in front of me, and I didn't lift, and somehow I came out second, and was racing there with Mike Stevens there at the end, and I don't know, I mean, I guess that's kind of what you have to do, you have to block, but I'm not going to harp on it too much. I'm sure you guys saw what happened, so that's over. This race didn't really matter, so it was good to knock the rust off and get, you know, used to how this this package is going to run. Obviously, it's going to be a different track next time we're using it, but it's good to kind of feel out how it was going to race for, I guess, 2 weeks from now.
All right, Justin. Well, still a top 10 finish for you here. It's good momentum heading into the season. Thanks for chatting with us. We'll see you at the start of the season. Appreciate it. All right, next we're going to talk to, it'll be Mike Stevens, who's driving the number 63 tonight. Mike, to say it was chaotic at the end is an understatement for sure. We saw a very dramatic last lap accident with the whole field, and then you and Justin squeezed on through, and then coming out of turn 4. One of the crazy things I've seen in a long time happen. You guys both got together, and the 39 car drove on through. What happened from inside your cockpit?
Well, coming down the backstretch, everybody kind of like ducked down below the yellow line, and it looked like somebody from the top line moved down, and then another car came up, and then that was when it all just came undone. And I just stayed in it thinking that maybe I could get through it. Drove through it, look at my rearview mirror, and there's Kolb, and there was no way that I was going to finish second for the 3rd year in a row at the Clash. So I put the block on as best as I could. It looks like he came down a little bit on me coming out of 4. I'm not really sure what happened there, but spun it, tried to get it going. I thought I had it going in the right direction, and then it just hooked back down towards the bottom of the track, and there went David, and I was like, so close, so close.
Mike, it was an entertaining result at the very least, but you still were very strong tonight. So I hope you have good luck in this season, man. It's been a pleasure watching you race this evening, and we'll see you at Daytona.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night. All right, next up on the next in the bullpen is going to be the 3rd place car, the 83 of Johnny Thomas. And Johnny, I was told before that that you had a pretty incredible stat that the previous 3 races were all yours, and you looked like you were in a fantastic spot to pick up another one. And on the back straightaway, everything kind of got away from you there. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. It was all behind me, and I got clipped. You know, if we want these little one-lap anything-go rules, then I guess people have to learn how to race a little bit better. The 6 car being a ping-pong ball through everything and hitting everybody. And it looked like Gruenberg got tagged by him, or he hit Corey, and Corey came up, or Levi came up into Gruenberg and clipped me. I thought I was in clear sailing. I did a hell of a job making my way up through there from the back of the pack. We missed all the wrecks. I was 10th with about 10 laps to go, and I got the lead there, and I thought I had another one. I thought I went 3 in a row, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. You know, it's a shame that people can't race with a little bit of common sense. You can't go 4 wide when there's 2 cars in between you. But whatever. It's non-points race, but it's still fun to win these things, and we should have had something there, but it happens, I guess.
All right, Johnny. Thanks for talking to us. I know it was a frustrating end of the night, but good luck this season. We'll see you out there.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Next up on the list is Chad Fringenfield, who finished 2nd tonight in the number 15. Chad, we were just saying how chaotic the end of the race was. We were just talking to Johnny, who said that some people need to use their heads more, but what a crazy end of the race. What did you see from outside your windshield?
Well, I mean, I didn't see anything really. I mean, I came off a 2 and I was in 11th, and my car was banged up pretty bad. So I tried to get a top 10, and I came out of 2 and saw the puff of smoke, and it was like Days of Thunder. And I was just going to go and stay along the wall and hope no one came up, and no one did. So obviously P2 is great. Obviously I lucked into it, but yeah, I mean, this package is definitely crazier. Plate tracks. I think Daytona is going to be wild with less room. Yeah, I mean, it was an exciting race, and congratulations to David. I mean, that was a cool way to win a race. That's like Talladega Nights stuff.
You had a lot of success in the 3-Wide Driver Development Series this past season. Do you feel like that's going to help you more now that the Cup car has gotten some horsepower reduced and downforce added, or is it kind of a different beast altogether?
I mean, I think it's just a confidence thing. You know, I think the Xfinity cars might be harder to drive now than the Cup cars. So, you know, I think the Cup cars are more or less like a truck than anything else, and I've had success in the trucks. I really don't know. I mean, it's I don't know what the competition's like in the series. I'm sure it's pretty good. You know, realistically, I think early in the season, I just want to try to get some top 5s and top 10s, see what we got to do, and then get into the playoffs and go from there. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we did a test race the other night at Darlington, and I was really quick. So I think as long as I can just do what I'm supposed to do on my end, I think I'll be all right. But yeah, I mean, these guys are really fast, so we'll see in a couple weeks once we start to hit the real tracks. But yeah, I'm happy with the P2, obviously.
All right, Chad, thanks for talking to us. We'll see you later. Have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
Last but not least, David Wilson. David, well, I think it's probably not unfair for me to say that we weren't really expecting to be talking to you in Victory Lane as the white flag flew, but you came off turn 2, there was a cloud of smoke ahead, you drove through it, and into her third and probably felt satisfied with that, but then came off of turn 4 and blew right on by the 2 guys wrecking out of 4. So just walk us through that crazy last lap, and congratulations on the victory.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I mean, I don't even know what was going on up there. I literally was just thinking that I was going to pull down pit road so I could see the end of the race, and then everybody started wrecking. But I saw smoke cars, and I almost checked up, and I saw them moving off the wall, so I stayed in it, and I really didn't know I was even in first place. I thought I was racing the 21. I wasn't even looking at my relative screen, but yeah, definitely crazy. I wish I wasn't damaged and had more time to play with the car a little bit to test the draft out, but I didn't really get to mess with it too much. I could run with the pack as long as I had somebody pushing me, but when they realized that we weren't going anywhere, they dumped me. So yeah, I was falling back like a rock. But I mean, it's not the way I want to win, but I'll take it. And I hope that's not the last one.
How did the package race this evening? I mean, this is the first time on SimTV that we've seen the new package race with the Cup cars. Was it better with damage, worse with damage? I mean, we all saw how great it was with clean cars, but once the field got some damage, did it change how the car handled it all?
I mean, it handled fine for me. I just didn't have any speed, you know, unless somebody was pushing me, and they had to really be pushing me. And unfortunately, it was like that for me for most of the race. I was in that first caution. But yeah, I didn't. The first of the race, it seemed like everybody was being real easy, so I didn't really get to play with it with a clean car either, unfortunately.
David, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Congratulations on the win. They're hard to get, and it's nice when you can get a lucky one like that, no matter where it is. But good luck this season, and I think we're going to see a lot of success out of that 39 team, so we'll see you later.
All right, thanks, guys. I hope so, too. Shout out to PPG Racer.
All right, David, have a great night. We'll talk to you next week. Well, that wraps it up, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Finian, okay, first of all, that finish was crazy. We've established that. But what about the racing itself? I mean, it was really good, I thought. Much better than it has been in the past.
Oh, yeah, no, I think it was probably one of the first Super Speedway races in a while where we didn't have to say that the package sucked, because it's completely fine now. It's better, almost better than it's ever been. There's so much maneuverability with this package. These guys are just able to go anywhere that they want and make the moves and make them work, especially. That's the really key thing. I also wanted to mention here quickly, should have probably mentioned it before the race finished, and Thomas kind of alluded to it, but what we saw in the back straight with the guys diving below the yellow line, they're allowed to do that. There's a rule for 3-wide on super speedways. Anything goes. They can pass below the yellow line if they want. I mean, obviously you want to keep it as clean as possible, but you have the replay here, so you see guys. So that's why you see Thomas.
You're talking about the exit of turn 2, so let's take you there.
Yeah. So that's why we see Thomas dive down below, because he's trying to cover himself off from being passed. So you see him start to go low and trying to. This
isn't where the wreck started. The wreck started in the middle with the 6 car, and this is where Johnny Thomas had his frustration, was with the 6 of Levi Zielinski. Well, let's actually take you there, and we'll look from up above on the chopper cam, and let me know what you see here.
So we'll see here out of turn 2. inside lane, pretty much all goes below. Ooh, and then the 6 hits Corey Lindsay. Yeah, and I think at that point, I think it's just due to the fact that the guys went down low and then they came back up again. Not their own, not really anyone's particular fault in my opinion. Just again, the way that rule is, these guys are able to fan out more than they would have expected, and then they all eventually you have to join back up to make the corner on the banking. So I call it just a racing incident there.
Yeah, so big pile up on the back straightaway, but it ended the race here tonight after out of turn 4. The 39 of David Wilson was able to sneak one away, and like I said, Finian, they're hard to get if you're at any racetrack, and hard enough at Talladega when the field takes you out sometimes, but Wilson was able to survive that one. But we're not done with this plate racing stuff yet, Finian. The season starts at Daytona next week, right? So
we got the duels next week. And then the week after, we'll have the Truck and Cup Series at Daytona.
So April 15th is the Daytona 250, which is 2 weeks from now. And next week, you mentioned the duels. And so, yeah, so that's what's coming up on SimTV the next couple weeks for 3Wide. But these guys are going to put on a great show. We're with these guys until November 4th, I believe, all the way at the end of the season on Monday nights at 9:40 p.m. and almost every week. I mean, there's not a whole lot of weeks that they're off. So most of this year, you're going to be able to find us right here on SimTV. Like I said, if you want to buy any SimTV merch, that's off in the description for you. What's coming up on SimTV this week? Tomorrow night is Chicagoland with the 2019 Fuel Post-Venom Cup Series. Then Wednesday night, we're off. Thursday, we return with Scars Ferrari Challenge from Brands Hatch. Friday, Virtual Racing League from Xfinity. Saturday, Outsiders Racing League from Kansas. And then on Sunday, we're off for another week on Sunday. And then we'll be back next Monday with the duels for the 3Wide Cup Series. So, Finian, a great way to start the season for sure. Who are we expecting at Daytona? I'm looking at that 83 car. He was really strong. I think he's the one to watch this year.
Yeah, I think the 83, the 15, and the 54, I think all of them really, they're all at the front for most of the... And even the 26 and the 00, Sweeting and Lindsay, respectively, both those guys were pretty strong up in the front of the field.
Take one last look at the results before we end the stream here tonight. Dad Frankenfield fresh off the press from the Driver Development Series in second. Dave Hunt, a fantastic finish in fourth for him. Acosta ended up with a fifth place. Broomberg comes home 10th after being collected in that last lap incident there. But we'll be back again next week with the Daytona duels. A lot narrower racetrack, a lot easier to get yourself into trouble. But we'll see you there from Daytona in 1 week's time. Everybody, thanks for watching. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. for Fuel Cup Series from Chicago.